This is Rikki Lee, a girl who is equal parts type A and type B. She's faith-filled, fashion-forward, and finally figuring out what it means to build a life that feels like hers. Welcome to Life by Design.
Okay guys, I just finished my second time leading a meeting for the head of risk at my client's firm, and I'm feeling really good. I did a really good job. Happy Thursday. It's a little unusual for me to be starting out a new vlog so far into the week. First of all, I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary at my corporate job, so everybody give me a round of applause. Just a year ago, I was a very scared girl, but a very emboldened girl by my faith and the grace that the Lord has blessed me with. And he told me to go to Chicago to take on this role and to stretch myself, and I did just that. I also had my performance review a couple weeks ago, and that went really well. I got the exact review that I was looking for, and it kind of lit a fire under my butt because I came into this role as an underdog, completely pivoting career paths from previously working in marketing to now going full-time into financial technology services, and it was no easy feat. Let me tell you, when I first started my role, I had no idea really how the stock exchange worked. I didn't really know what a bond was, an ETF, an indice. Like, I had no idea what any of these things were. And looking at me now, just coming off of a call with one of our clients this morning, and I put together an entire financial model for him. It's just mind-boggling to me how much you can grow and stretch yourself when you have someone else that's kind of setting the pace. Previously, because I was an entrepreneur, I was the one who set the pace for myself, and while I did an amazing job at setting markers, it's very different when you have KPIs set for you, and sometimes they want you to go to the moon and back. And I was able to literally be a shooting star. So to any of you who are scared to do the pivot, to go down the less traveled road, or add something else to your title that you otherwise never knew would even be at your disposal, do it today. This is your sign to go after it and do it. Mid-month, I had a lot of events with like Pantene. I went out with Seven Daughters Wines. I had a Black Girls in Media dinner. Like, there was a lot going on socially, and this month I really wanted to just kind of lock in and get back into a smooth rhythm with my routines. So every single day I've been doing my 10,000 steps. I've been keeping up with my Living by Design dashboard, checking in every single day and checking off the daily habits that I need to do in order to achieve the life that I want to live. And it's just been very, very exciting. But for those of you who are new here, I am Rikki Lee. I am a award-winning brand strategist, now FinTech Barbie, and also your favorite life designer. Every single day, I'm constantly trying to better design my life because I am a true believer that how we spend our days is how we live our lives. And I want my days to be filled with meaning and fulfillment and joy. And so I've been a lot more intentional about not just like getting by, but thriving. It takes a lot of introspection, and it takes being empowered enough to say, hey, I see that what's going on in my life isn't working. What can I do to change it? And one of the things that I will be quite honest with you guys about is I am going on a fitness journey. And I think I've shown you guys multiple times, like me going to the gym, me doing this, me doing that, meal prepping, whatever else. But because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, it is so challenging to have a consistent weight. My weight constantly fluctuates. My appetite fluctuates. Sometimes I'm not really hungry. Sometimes I'm very hungry and I want to eat everything in sight. Like, it's just very hard to stay on top of my fitness regimen. Initially joining corporate America, I had a routine of just coming home, laying down, and watching TV. And now I'm really trying to craft an after work routine that will really help me to get to the goals that I want. So yesterday I met with Omar Weavers. He is a trainer and he is really, really sweet, really sweet guy. Got on the phone with him yesterday. I just went down to my gym this morning and I captured some photos of the equipment that I have at my disposal, and I'm gonna send that over to him this morning so he can take a look and just kind of let me know like what type of workout regimen we can do with my at-home gym. For me personally, I just need something that is easy. I need something that is going to work with my current lifestyle. So we're gonna lock in and commit to doing this for the next 3 months. I'm paying my hard-earned money for this training, so I'm really hoping that this will keep me on track and keep me on, schedule to really do what I want to do with my body. I feel like every other aspect of my life, I'm very intentional. I've been intentional with curating my community. I've been intentional about getting closer to God. I got baptized. Like, I've been intentional about every other aspect of my life, career-wise. But fitness is always the area where I just struggle. I'm 23. Like, I get to decide who I want to be. And if you are someone who is teetering on the idea of making an investment in a specific area of your life, just do it. And think of, why wouldn't it work? A lot of times, so specifically in the fitness area, I think of like, oh, it's not going to work. Like, I'm going to go to the gym all these days. I'm going to do all these workouts. I'm going to eat all these good meals, and I'm not going to see any change on the scale. But at this point in my life, I can't allow the numbers to measure my success. Because if you continue to allow the numbers and the metrics to move you, you'll never be able to see the way God is moving in your life. Don't allow the scale, don't allow the follower count, don't allow the compensation that your job is giving you currently to indicate the level of effort, and also to indicate your success, because you are successful each and every day that you wake up and you choose to do something to better yourself. And that is all that matters. Because after reading Atomic Habits, and there was this infographic that he put on there to show how your life changes over time if you choose to be 1% better versus if you choose to just be stagnant and do nothing and actually gradually get worse. You exponentially get worse by choosing to do nothing. So I'm choosing to do a little bit more each day. I'm not overloading myself and completely making like super drastic changes, because that's often when I find that I lose steam, is when I exert all of this energy changing everything in my life, and then I'm like, this isn't comfortable, so I go back to what is comfortable and what I know. At this point, I'm meeting myself where I'm at. I'm the heaviest that I've ever been in my life, and I'm the most confident that I feel like I've ever been. And I look at myself and I'm like, I don't see the number that I see on the scale. I just see a body that's lived in, a body that enjoys itself, a body that flows and goes into a lot of spaces and takes up space. I don't really see what I see on the scale, but I also know this is the only body that I get, and I want to take care of it. I want to show myself that I can be disciplined, and I want to instill a newfound sense of confidence. And when we were doing my consult yesterday, he asked me, like, what do you think reaching this goal in 90 days is going to do for you? And I said, I think it's going to instill a newfound level of confidence, because in every other area of my life, I've been able to set a goal and achieve it. I say I want to start a podcast, I do it. I'm 16, I say I want to start an agency, I do it. I say that I want to be an award-winning brand strategist, have a banner downtown in my city. Like, I say that I want to get the largest contract of my life, and I do it at 22. And if you are trying to change your life, you literally just need to read this trilogy. These are all by different authors, but they're so good. The first one being Atomic Habits by James Clear. I finished that book last month, and it completely changed my life. And then I read The Ritual Effect by Michael Norton. Completely changed my outlook on creating rituals beyond just like habits, but creating rituals that enriches the mundane tasks that I do on the day-to-day. And then last but not least, this Work Simply book. This has been helping me to take a deeper dive into how I work and how to optimize the way in which I work. Because often we look at everyone else's routines. We watch the videos of someone's 5 a.m. morning routine, their 6 to 9 routine, and you think like, okay, because they're successful, I will be successful if I adopt the things that they do, and that is not how that works. In this book, she talks about 4 different archetypes of the way in which you may work. And it looks as though, obviously you can guess, I am a planner. And the other day I was in the office and I was looking at my calendar and I was like, whoa, I never use my work calendar to actually like block off the time that I use. I often just have meetings on my calendar, and that's how I use my day to kind of like guide when I'm working, and I'll just work around it. But yesterday, I actually blocked off time blocks for myself to know you only have 2 hours to work on this project. You have 30 minutes to do this task. You have 1 hour to do this. In in between my meetings. And when I tell you I was so successful yesterday, my to-do list was so long, it filled up the entire day block of my planner, and I got every single thing done. So if you are somebody who's struggling to figure out how you can work and how you can get more done, you need to read this book. I'm not done yet, so I'll try to give you guys the 5-finger takeaways on my TikTok. And if you're not following me there, make sure to do so. My name is rikkilee.co on there. And the more and more you simplify things and the more and more you optimize things to the point where it's just like muscle memory, you have no issue showing up. I'll give you an example. About a month ago, I looked at the scale and I said, I don't like that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to show up for myself every single day. And I'm just going to start by making a habit of putting on my workout clothes as soon as I get home. Because when I would get home, I would literally just change out of my work clothes and put on my pajamas and then lay in my bed. And that is not a good routine, guys. So I started just to put on the workout clothes. And once I have the workout clothes on, it's like, why would I lay down in my workout clothes? So it was like, okay, once I have on the workout clothes, then just go outside and take a walk. And then I started getting in steps. And then I was like, okay, you can do 10,000 steps. So then it started to become more and more of a habit. And now it's my after work ritual. And it feels so good to just come home and blow off some steam. I have like the after work zoomies because I've been sitting down for so long. And I just get in those steps and then it's like, we're done. It's magical. So if you're someone who's feeling like you're stuck and you have no ability to get going, just move. You have to have momentum. That is one of the laws of physics. There is no movement if there is no momentum. You need to just get moving. And once you have the momentum, keep going. Keep going, keep going. And one of the things he talked about in Atomic Habits was not to make it a habit of not showing up. Once you let 2 days go by of not doing the habit, you're now going to have a habit of not doing it. And a lot of us think that if we don't have an hour to show up, then we can't show up at all. No. You can have a way to show up in 10 minutes. Yesterday, I had a mentee meeting after work. And I was like, yo, like, what am I going to do? I only have an hour before I'm going to get on the call with her. And the sun is going to go down. So I need to get this walk in. I hurried up and I changed into my clothes. By 5:30, I was outside walking. And I was back in this house by 6:17. And I had reached my 10,000 steps. So stop making excuses. You can do a lot in 3 minutes. So imagine what you could do in 30. Okay guys, so I just got back from my meeting. I finished out the workday and I have just changed my little walking attire. And we're actually gonna go to happy hour today with my girlfriends. We're going to go to Oakville in Fulton Market and we're gonna have a good time. I'm really excited to debrief with the girls because this is really what fills up my cup after a really long work week. But we are going to hurry up and get going. And unfortunately, I was too lazy to change my underwear, so I have little panty lines. I'll be back. I'll be there.
Yes, you literally have to come back for dinner. Their dinner is really good.
I want to see what their brunch is talking about.
Oh, yeah, let me Google it. What? Yeah, she's talking about it's so good. Okay.
She says she lives 5 minutes from here. And that's in another life.
Cancel, you're just gonna get like a travel package.
I would move over here.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like I would do.
You can just swing on over.
Yeah, swing on over
Yeah,
to the West
Tam's gonna be up here. And then you just.
But I think I want to do like a townhouse, or like a walk up, something like that. Like I've really enjoyed the high rise vibe.
Yeah.
But I think like I'm gonna do it one more year, and then after that I want to do a walk up. Ooh, breakfast tacos.
Well, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you didn't.
They have grits, Gouda grits.
Yeah, but
They know about grits.
Probably not much, but
Well, you really you can't mess up grits like that, but.
Like everybody, let's get on one accord.
Yeah, that's good.
Bring out your best.
Thank you. Yeah, those look
Uno.
Yeah, get that real big. Oh yeah, I thought it was like. Yeah. Okay. Like wow.
No, it's not small.
Big. It's good though.
It's not
Scared
bad.
to eat like.
I'd be scared too. It's not bad. I feel like on this, because I'm a big texture person, I feel like on this with this rice, you won't be able to feel it as much.
Ooh.
This is very plain, so you need this. And it might be the last, but at least we tried it.
Yeah, low key.
Same.
That be a little too much. Girl, what is this?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm really excited for you guys to see a little bit of a weekend in my life. It's nothing too crazy, but we do have an event to go to this Saturday. I was invited to an exclusive lunch hosted by Zurik. She's an extremely talented designer that's based out of Lagos, Nigeria. It says, this collection is a love letter to ease, individuality, and the art of taking your time. As we celebrate the relaunch of Zurik, we're so excited to have you experience it first. And she sent me the most stunning gown, and it is honestly so flattering on my body. I don't have the tiniest arms, so I like to have like my arms covered most of the times if I do wear a dress. And it has like ruching on the sides, which helps to like give you more of a like hourglass figure. And then it's mesh material, but she has meticulously chosen to not keep like the entire stomach area mesh. So if you do have a little bit of like a pudge, it's not obvious. And I'm just like, wow, the woman that you are. She said, we can't wait to see you bring this Zurik piece to life at Saturday's event. Thank you for celebrating this milestone with us. Your energy and elegance are the perfect match. XOXO Chi-Chi. So shout out to Chi-Chi. I'm very excited to rock my gown on Saturday. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. So hopefully we can get ready together and I can show you guys my little curly hair routine as well as my elevated soft glam look, because I think I've gotten it down to a science now, especially since I've made a little bit more investments in my makeup products. I love fashion, and it's crazy to me because it's been years since I've had like a fashion brand collaboration. And I think it's partly because a lot of brands are looking for a specific body type to showcase their pieces. They have a certain look that they want for models. And it's so funny because my LTK booms. Like when I tell you I have over 20,000 clicks sometimes from some of my videos, because people are getting to see a real body in clothes. You need to be able to see how clothes fit a petite, thicker body. And I'm here to represent for the girlies. And someone actually asked me on my Instagram not too long ago, how am I embracing womanhood? And this is how. It's learning to just look in the mirror and realize like, this is what I got. This is what I was blessed with. And I just got to work with what I got. But you have to work with designers and brands that create silhouettes that are made just for you. Stop trying to fit your frame into things that were not intended for you. And the moment that I realized that a lot of brands don't make things with me in mind, not with my body type in mind, I just stopped shopping with them. And I'm not going to shop with a brand who doesn't have my pockets in mind either. If you have things that are really, really amazing and I love it, but you're not thinking about me as a consumer and where my pockets might be as an everyday working woman, then I'm just not going to shop with you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with not being able to afford designer and be able to wear the Chanels, the Louis Vuittons, and this and that. Especially in your early 20s, I think there's a lot of rhetoric out there that if you're not doing that, then you're not successful. And I'm here to tell you, you are running your own race. I would much rather you have your stuff truly together than be trying to flaunt a lifestyle that you can't even actually really afford. We have quite a lot of work to do, and I'm going to go to Buttercup today actually to work from home, because you guys know on Fridays I like to explore a different coffee shop. We've gone to Postcard twice now, and today we're going to go to Buttercup in the South Loop. So I'll see you guys at Buttercup. Bye. actually need to make a return at Sephora because a couple weekends ago, I had meant to order a actual like a new blush, but I got the same one. I wanted something a little bit brighter, like a really bright red. So we're gonna try to return this. Okay, so I figured it out. I just needed to go inside of the DoorDash app and initiate a refund, and then I told them the reason why, and then all I have to do is give them my receipt at Sephora. They'll scan it, I'll give them the item, and then I need to just take a photo of the return receipt, and then it'll initiate like the refund request. So it doesn't look like it's like a fair exchange the day that you walk in there, but that's fine with me. I'm literally just throwing this inside of my fanny pack because I don't feel like carrying that whole Sephora bag down the street. And we're about to head out the doors. This smells really good. It smells just like all of their hair products. We are now back from Sephora and I'm so excited, guys. I got a few really good products. We picked up a new tinted serum. This is by the brand CL. I actually listened to a worker today, and this camera has like a natural blur to it, but this product, when I tell you, I only have it on this side of my face and my skin looks like it has a filter on it. It looks so gorgeous, and not to mention the shade match was literally top tier. I really love this product. I got mine in the shade number 10 medium rich, and I've been utilizing a lot of my foundation as my concealer to like spot correct, when all in all I could save my really good foundation for when I have full glam moments for influencer events and just use like a skin serum or a skin tint during the week. So we're gonna be trying that out. I also got the Danessa Myricks blurring balm. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this. It really blurs the skin and gives you like a filter like look under your foundation. So I'm really excited to use that. And on top of that, I needed a new cleanser. Last night I was trying to use my little cleanser, and when I tell you it was taking forever, I was having to use a wipe because I made the mistake months ago of buying the Orange Youth to the People cleanser. It's more of an exfoliating face wash, and I overused it and I got like a chemical burn in the middle of my head, and now like I have like a dark spot there, and I've been really trying to correct it with a lot of different serums, specifically my Clinique dark spot serum, and it's starting to greatly improve. Like, so we're gonna try out this new Great Skin cleanser. I spent about $122. As I was walking down the street today, this man stops me at the crosswalk because I walk really fast. Now, my friends will say I walk really slow, and every time I'm with them, I have on heels. Like, what do you want me to do? Or I have on like flip-flops. And you guys know, like, you can't really walk super fast in flip-flops because you're trying to keep your feet inside of the shoe. The way I walk, my shoe would fly off if I walked as fast as I want to. So I have to walk a little bit slower. And plus, all my friends are like 5'7" plus, so their stride is a lot longer than mine, but I walk really fast on any other given day when I have on flats. But every weekend when we go out, I have on heels. But nonetheless, I was walking really fast, and when I walk and I have on a banging playlist, baby, I look like Destiny's Child when they're walking onto the stage to lose my breath. So he stops me at the crosswalk and he's like, I just wanted to let you know, like, I really love the way you walk. It's like, thank you. And you know, with a compliment, like some men, it's not just gonna come with a compliment, like it leads into a whole conversation. They wanna get to know your name and all this. So I was like, oh, like, thank you so much. He said, what's your name? And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, my name is Rikki, but I have a boyfriend. And in all honesty, do I have a boyfriend? No, but that's my default and my recourse when I just don't want to engage in conversation with someone. But you guys already know I had to make a pit stop to my favorite place on the planet, and that is Toto's Market. I got grapes and tuna. Their tuna is so good. I would have never thought to put cranberries and apples and tuna, but they do, and it's really good. It's 11:32. I told you guys I wanted to run all those errands and do all that before 11:30, and we did that. My event isn't until 3, which means I don't have to be ready until 2:30, which means I have plenty of time to sit down, watch a little episode of Scandal, and catch up with my mom. Baby, I love a good grape. I love a grape and an apple. I have been really enjoying the fall weather, like the changes in the leaves. My walk was genuinely so beautiful. Like, I went down on Michigan, so I kind of went out of my way to go there just so I could walk a little bit longer. check my step goal. As you guys can see, I am at 6,000 steps already. And it's genuinely little lifestyle changes like this that has been changing my life. I genuinely think that's why I've lost 3 pounds already, because I've become a lot more active. I walk a lot more places. Like the old me a couple months ago, I would have never walked to Sephora unless I was with my friends, but like I would have just caught a Lyft. That's money I could have spent on a whole other product while I was there. And in case y'all were wondering, I'm still going really hard with this. Like, this is my best friend. I genuinely love using this. It's the best little lemon squeezer. You squeeze the lemon, and at the top right here, it catches the seeds, and then you can store this in your fridge. And I have fresh squeezed lemon juice literally every week for my tea as well as my water bottle. I just went downstairs. I have a really bad habit of opening up packages downstairs because I don't like to have to go back down and throw away the box. I just like to kill one bird with one stone. I got some little headbands for my curly hair while I'm working out, so it can be out of my face, but I don't necessarily have to pull it back or pin it back. I also got some new toothpaste. I've been hearing a lot about this toothpaste, how amazing it is for the health of not only your teeth, but it's also great and freshening, and it also whitens your teeth. And I'm also switching to a soft bristle toothbrush. I follow a dentist who is actually studying under the art of aesthetics. Isn't she so cute? It's so aesthetic. It is the Euthamol pink whitening toothpaste, and I'm just trying to improve my dental hygiene. I ordered a bunch of little cloths. These actually are really big, but these are lens cleaning and screen cleaning cloths. The theory is I can keep this inside of a little bag inside of my purse, and whenever I need to just like quickly clean my screen, I can just use this, or wipe off my screen, I can use this, and I have a newly fresh camera that is ready to go. And then I also picked up some more of my absolutely favorite all white slouchy socks. These are the best on the market because you see how long this part is. It gives you a good scrunch. Like once you put your leg in it, it gives you a really good scrunch because this part is extremely long. I bought some of these earlier this year, and with me walking so much, 3 pairs a week is genuinely not enough. So now I have 6 pairs, which is lovely. So that's all that came in the mail today. I still have a few things that are in the mail, including my wider headbands, but I'm really excited to wear these. And they did not have to do all of this. Ain't nobody trying to steal the recipe to your peach cobbler. Like, this is unnecessary reinforcement. Let's go into the bathroom and get ready. Ex-boyfriend calling me to check in. He calls me probably like once a month now. We broke up almost like a year ago, guys. And when I tell you, if you are in a space where you feel like there is a shift underway in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, and you just have no idea if it's like time to let it go, the likelihood is that it's time to let it go. And I didn't let it go when God was telling me to let it go, I was kind of forced to let it go. And that was the best thing I could have ever done. I moved to Chicago literally like a year ago, and just to see like how drastically different I am as a woman. Things that I wanted back then are drastically different than what I want and or expect now. I'm 23 now. I still have a lot to learn about myself, and when I approach dating now, it's more from a perspective of not just the woman that I am today, but I also am considering who will Rikki need when she's 25? Who will Rikki need when she's 30? What kind of man will my children need? I have to consider those things, because if I don't, you'll end up in a situation with someone who is just, it's not it. But I want to give this cleanser by Merit a try. This is apparently like a double cleanser. I wash off the makeup from the day. It feels very hydrating. It's like foam first, and then it turns into like a milky cleanser. I love when products have a really good sensory experience. I'm just all about the 360-degree design. And I love their packaging. It's just so beautiful. Like, a lot of cleansers don't feel hydrating, and they don't move the makeup, especially the makeup that's like under my eyes after baking and like powdering. Like, that makeup is not going anywhere. But what are some of you guys' favorite cleansers? Because I personally really don't like having to double cleanse and use micellar water. I like to just get everything done all in one job. Do you guys subscribe to using face towelettes? Like, have you gotten to that point in your life yet? Are you that bougie? I have had them sent to me and like inside of like PR, and while I do love them and I think they're amazing, and when I get to a point where I can really afford to have the face towelettes and just be buying them on my own, then perhaps we'll be doing that consistently. But I'm totally okay with the paper towel, and I currently don't keep any in my bathroom, so we're gonna go grab one. I'm one of those people, I am frugal chic. Maybe we can call it that. I'm frugy. I'm frugal, but I'm also bougie. And I'm very intentional about the investments that I make in all aspects of my life. So for like my mini micro bags and things like that, I will cheap out on, because I don't need to have a Chanel mini bag. But for my bigger bags that are like, wow, in your face, they're my everyday bags, I will invest in those, because obviously there's going to be a lot more wear and tear on them, and it just makes more sense because the bag is larger. It's going to be a lot more obvious that, wow, that is that designer. Now, same thing for skincare. Skincare, I will go all out on my cleanser, and I will go all out on serums. But moisturizer is a moisturizer is a moisturizer to me. If I want something a little more hydrating, then okay. But a cleanser and a serum, those I will splurge on, because that is what seeps into the pores and gets you the results that you're looking for. And also, cleansing your skin is so important, especially since I wear a lot of makeup between client meetings during the week and then also my influencer events after work. So I just like to really invest in really good products that are going to really cleanse my skin and restore the balance and ensure that I'm not having any crazy breakouts, aside from the occasional hormonal ones, which are totally normal. And if you have acne, acne is normal. There's nothing wrong with that. I had a season in my life where I was experiencing a lot more cystic acne and like breakouts because of my PCOS, and I made a few changes. And one of the biggest, but like kind of crazy changes I made in my life, and a lot of people may not agree with this, is that I don't cleanse my face in the morning. I only cleanse it at night, and I found that this has been very helpful for me because I have sensitive skin, and I've always lived in cities where the air is not as pure. Like, it's very dirty, and I feel like it was just messing with my skin barrier utilizing so many different products all the time. So I typically only wash my face at night. The only time I'll wash my face during the day is if I've done like a workout, and obviously I need to wash my face and get like the dirt off, or like I'm redoing my makeup. But other than that, at the start of my morning, all I do is like get the sleep out my eyes, and I may reapply like a little bit of serum or some drops before I go ahead and start doing my makeup. And that's just personally like what really works for me. I know the world tells us that we need to use 5,000 different products, we need to have 10 steps, and you really just need to pay attention to your skin and what works for you. At this point, I'm just tackling really small, minor things like hyperpigmentation around my mouth. I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation here. I've been looking into a couple of different skincare treatments to potentially invest in. As you guys can see, it's a little darker. That's where I had the chemical burn from me utilizing the Youth to the People cleanser every single day with no sunscreen. It was literally ruining my skin barrier and like eating away at my skin. But all in all, I would rate this cleanser a 9 out of 10. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. We're about to start doing my little soft glam routine. I've really been slowly upgrading a lot of the products in my kit, and today when she told me I had 1,000 points at Sephora, I was like, whoa. The fact that I already have 1,000 points means I spent $1,000, which means that's crazy. This is a texture reducing, coverage boosting, blurring balm powder. This is what she looks like. Very bomb, and it comes with a little spatula. We're gonna take out about that much. I guess that's how much you need. So I'm gonna apply it to one side first, just to see how I feel about it and see what it does. Okay, wow, this is very hydrating. Like I said, I really enjoy the texture as well as the color of the skin tint, but I love the formulation and the coverage of my Haus Labs foundation, so we're gonna use that today, and then I may like throw in a few drops of this CL product, but we will see first. I'm gonna first start out with this. Like I said, this is a little bit more yellow, whereas this is a little more red, as you can see. Like this is a little more red. And I know this might look a little crazy, but bear with me. This is the Patrick Ta foundation. I don't know what shade this is. This is the shade Golden 28. He sent it in a sample, and I've been underpainting my face with this shade because it is like literally the most perfect contour shade. Even though it's a foundation and it was a sample of a foundation, I have been using it for my soft glam every single day and underpainting with this. And underpainting is a technique that I have been seeing online for so long, but I just never thought to try it myself because I'm just like, I genuinely don't know what's happening. Like it just looks so messy. But I'm telling you, once you start doing it, you will see such an improvement in your makeup. I'm now going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. And this is also a newer product in my kit. This shade honestly reminds me of the NARS Laguna bronzer, but it's just a liquid. But I also underpaint with this. And I'm doing all of these steps before my concealer because I like to blend the excess of this into the concealer once it's on my face. And this is one of those things where you genuinely do have to trust the process. And the Patrick Ta shade that I used before was a lot cooler, as you saw, and then this one from the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand is a lot warmer, and I like the combination of the two because I get a contour as well as a little bit of a bronze effect with the both of them. Then I go back in with my foundation brush and I kind of just like to diffuse where both of those colors start to marry into one another, just so that we have more of a flawless transition between the two. I'm actually pretty fast with my makeup. It doesn't take me very long to do my makeup unless I'm doing like my eyes as well, and today we're doing the eyes because this is more of a full glam event. But now we're gonna go in with some concealer. I have been using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Butterscotch for quite some time now, and I am not the most in love with the shade. I feel like it is a little too yellow, so I mix it in with a little bit of their color Honey, and Honey is a little too neutral, so honestly both of them are not ideal, but because I have quite a lot of product left over in the both of them, I'm not going to just waste it. We're going to use it, and once they're both out, trust and believe, I'm not buying this anymore. But as you can see, this one is a lot more of like a skin tone concealer, and I like to have something like this in my kit at all times so that when I do need to calm down something that's a little too yellow, something that's a little too bright, I can always do that with this. And as you can see, I have really light Honey, I have Butterscotch, and then I have Umber, and that is how I like to marry all of the colors. And as you can see, I placed the concealer exactly where I want it to be. I'm gonna allow it to dry down a little bit while I begin to draw on hair-like strokes for my brows. For months, I've been using this NYX brow tint pen for almost over a year at this point. Eyebrow pencils have come and gone, and this has stayed the same. I personally really like using an eyebrow pen because I can draw the exact strokes that I'm looking for. And because my eyebrows are shorter and they don't even like grow anymore in here, I'm able to draw hair-like strokes at the very front of my brow, and it looks natural instead of like a block brow, which I personally really enjoy. And then I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer brush to blend all of this out. I know some people like to use like beauty blenders or powder puffs. I personally have not really enjoyed using beauty blenders. I never have. I feel like after a while it gets very, very messy, and I don't like it. I try to focus a lot of my blending on the outer edges. I'm really just diffusing the product. I'm not really moving or manipulating the product that is here because we want that to be as full coverage as possible. And I'm gonna begin, like I said, diffusing out the edges. So I'm diffusing it into my nose just so that can be a lot more seamless. And this is all in the name of just diffusion. We're not trying to make the product disappear. You want the product to still be there. And the moment that I realized that with makeup is that the goal is not to get it to melt into your face. You don't want it to disappear. You want all the colors that you see on your face to melt together. So we're just diffusing where the lines come together, diffusion. And I slowly start to come up here. I'm gonna take my foundation brush and I'm gonna start to diffuse this, but not too much. I'm gonna allow the inner part of my eye to dry down even more while I do this next step. And don't even think about blending it with this because there's too much product on here. You see, it's putting more product on there. We don't want that. So I'm just gonna diffuse out my forehead with my actual foundation brush. So that, because when you are doing your makeup, you need to constantly be turning your head left and right to just ensure that the product is actually seamless from every angle. Because you have no idea how often you may think you've dusted away all the powder and there's still some when you turn your head. And then here with your forehead, you'll turn your head and then you'll see that there's like a line of demarcation between your concealer and your bronzer. That does not look good. So you want to do that. So I'm using the shade Love by Rare Beauty. This is literally what I just returned because I thought that I had picked up a brighter color and I actually hadn't. But I'm being very strategic about the placement of this because I want to lift my cheeks. So I'm just placing it here. Because this is a deeper, more rich version of the orange, I take a Gorge Orange by e.l.f. This is another liquid blush. And this is a little brighter. And I just put that on the very tops of my cheeks because I just want that to like really, really pop. Place that there. And you'll learn what works for your face. Like, just sit with your face a little while and see, and pay attention to the placement of product, like when you've gone to a professional, like where did she put the colors? And now I'm finally going in and I'm starting to blend out the product that is literally just under the eye. And then I just take what's ever left over on the brush and I kind of gloss that over the tip of my nose or the bridge of my nose. And as you guys can see, I'm turning my head every which way so I can see the angles of everything, and I'm ensuring that everything is flawless. Now I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade medium. This is their pressed powder. This is the best under eye pressed powder. I've gone the cheap routes, guys. I'm telling you, trust me, I'm a person who will try to get an alternative before I spend my coins, and this is where you need to spend the coins. On a pressed powder. You can go cheaper on a loose powder. You can get like Morphe or something like that. But for your actual pressed powder, don't go cheap. Because this is what you need to be very finely milled. And you need it to be just like flawless. And so I just use my powder puff. I tap it into here. And then I'm going right up under the eye. Just so I can make sure that it's creaseless and absolutely smooth. And then some people like to do their brows and their eyes first. I don't, just because I find that this is easier if I do all of that first, and then things can sit and I can come up and do my brows while I'm sitting and waiting for everything else to kind of like just dry down. But I start out with a shade that is literally my foundation shade, and I saw a makeup artist who does like bridal glam do that, and it changed the game for me because she first lays down a little product that is the tone of the actual foundation, and then she goes in with something that's brighter to brighten up the brow bone. I use the pink Morphe loose powder, and this is a brightening powder. I just go in with my powder puff. I kind of tap it on the back of my hand first just to make sure that I have a very smooth layer before packing it under my eye. And because we've already used a pressed powder, it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and just place this under there, because we don't have to worry about it settling into any fine lines or anything like that because we've covered that with the pressed powder. And then I'm also being very strategic to carve out my nose. This really helps if you like a very snatched nose. And then I lightly go over my liquid blush. This is Huda Beauty's Cinnamon Bun. I don't use this under my eyes. I only use this all around my face, and I just use this to lightly powder and ensure that none of this product that we placed on our face moves throughout the day. And when I tell you my makeup don't move, it don't move. And it's because of this step right here. I never used to do this, and I was scared to use translucent setting powder all over my face because as a darker complected woman, it's just a toss-up on if you will have flashback, and I never want to have to worry about accidentally like experiencing flashback. And then I also make sure to go over my brows with this powder just to mattify them, because I found that in a lot of photos my eyebrows would disappear because they were too shiny. So powder your brows too, go over them lightly. And then you have a flawless canvas, and we're not quite done yet. This is what separates good makeup from great makeup, and it's these little small attention to detail points that can really make or break your makeup look. And so now I'm gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario palette. This palette is literally gorgeous. Like, look at her. And I'm just using these little Morphe brushes. I got them in a kit from Ulta. I have not made it to the point where I feel like I need to be investing a whole lot of money into my makeup brushes. I don't do a lot of eye makeup, so I haven't really made the investment there, but I'm going in with this shade right here. I'm gonna drag it down, and the key is to take that same color and to drag it down a little bit like you're carving out. Like a fake carving. See what I'm doing? Fake carving. That's what I want to do. And this is going to open up your eye and make it appear a little bit bigger than what it actually is. Now I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush like this, and I'm going to pick up some of the pigment from here, and I'm going to lightly dust that towards the inner corner of my eye. And this is going to create like a slight ombre and a brightening effect to the eye. And this is the most simple eye makeup you can do, and it is so effective. It brightens the eye, it enlarges the eye, so if you have a little bit of a smaller eye, like this is gonna make it look a little bigger, and who doesn't want big eyes? So I'm taking that a little bit into the inner corner, and I'm dragging it down the side of my nose. As you can see, it's this small detail right there. I'm dragging it down and onto the side of my nose to give like a subtle contour. And I'm gonna sweep that from the inner corner of my nose right here up into the brow bone and across. And this is going to serve as our transition shade and a way to softly contour and add depth to the eye. I'm going to repeat the same step on the other side, sweeping it slightly up from the bridge of my nose over into the brow bone and over into the crease of my eye. And you see how it's slightly added a little bit of depth to the eye. Now this is a little too cool. So because this is too cool of a color, I'm gonna go in with another color in the palette that's a little redder, just to make this pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna go into this shade. This one's a little redder. And I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna sweep that into the crease. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly sweep away the powder that we had under our eyes that was baking and brightening. And you may be looking at your face and you're like, Rikki, I look like a powdered donut. Like, what are you talking about? This looks awful. I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This literally blurs all of the powder that you have just used on your face to set everything. Just watch. It's going to make all of this look skin-like. But as you can see, everything is literally melted into each other because of that powder right there. So now I'm going to take that same tiny fluffy brush and I'm going to take a lighter color in here, something like this. This is more of like a flesh tone color, and I just use that instead of only using a glitter pigment. I start with that to highlight and bring back the dimension of my nose and to highlight and accentuate certain points. So I know a lot of people like to use glitter and that can be very, very obvious, but this is a more subtle way to bring back details like the tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose. And you can also do it in your Cupid's bow. I also like to take it a little bit down into the inner corner of my eye and down the bridge of my nose. And I'm going to take the stark white color that's over here, and I'm just going to place that right in the inner corner of the eye. And it's little details like this, like I said, that takes your makeup from looking good to looking great. Now we're going to use Makeup Revolution highlight powder, and I'm going to take that same little tiny brush. I'm just going to take a little bit of that pigment and dust it over the highlight that I've already created. And I'm just going to add in a little detail like here for a mole. You can do a lot of different things to really intensify the glam, but it's those little details like adding in the little white, adding in the lighter pigment to highlight the bridge of your nose, adding on a little bit of a shimmer that really elevates this soft glam, and using a lot of product. You guys saw how much product I was using. It's necessary if you want a very soft, like luxurious glam like this. But I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm going to change into my dress in a few. It's currently 1:53. Our event is at 3 o'clock, so I have to be fully dressed and ready to go in 30 minutes, and I will come back to you guys once we have the dress on. Look is complete, and we have our bag with our lip combo in it. I've sprayed on my perfume. I will link everything that I used for today's glam down below. But this dress, like I said before, guys, is from the Zurik Ready to Wear collection. This is literally the most flattering dress I've ever worn in my life. Silhouettes like this that give me like a little halter moment, that is able to elongate my waist, just makes me look a little taller because I am extremely petite. Guys, like I think I look really beautiful. And I'm gonna have to have someone zip up the rest of my dress downstairs because I genuinely could not get it. But don't you just love more than anything when a glam comes together better than you expected? Like, it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's nothing like it. On my lips, NYX Line Loud liner in the shade Rebel Kind. It's more of a purple brown, but I prefer that than just like straight up brown because that's way too cool and I feel like it makes me look a little gothic. And then I like to use this little pencil. This came with my pack of brushes that I was using earlier on my eyes. It is a very small detail brush. I use this actually to line my lips because I don't like to carry around a pencil sharpener, and sometimes my bags are even smaller than this. So I literally just dip the tip of this brush inside of the canal of this lip liner to line my lips. And I also feel like it's a lot more precise, especially if you haven't just sharpened the pencil. And then I use on the inner part of my lip for the ombre effect the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. I've been using this literally since college. And then on top of that, I use the Sephora collection in the shade number 1. This is the lip plumping gloss, and it does lip plump. It does make your lips look a little bit bigger, and on top of that it has an amazing gloss, and it just makes your lips look super juicy. But yeah, that is a completed look. I teeter-tottered on the idea of just doing like a wet look, like with my hair back, but I don't necessarily know how to achieve that kind of look and like keep my hair slick. So we're just gonna do the toss over. I think this is really pretty. And then I just need somebody to zip this up for me downstairs, but we are ready to go. So let's go to the Zurik Lunch and I'll see you guys there.
Hi, Rikki.
This is so beautiful. This is amazing. She was just telling me her story. How you guys have grown so much in the past like 8 years. And you have a team out in Nigeria.
Yes.
And so,
Made in Lagos.
yes, so do you want to tell them a little bit more about your collection?
So we're dropping the Wanyo collection. It means slowly but surely. So it's a collection for the girls that want to be soft but still bold. The collection has a range of dresses. We have pants, we have chiffon, silk, lovely body hugging fabric, stretchy,
Yes.
comfortable, just chic.
No, that's exactly how I described this dress. I was like, this is soft, but it's
So
still
cute. You look so beautiful
feminine
in
and
the
like
color.
sexy. Yes, very luxe. I can't wait to meet everybody. Rikki Lee, hello everybody. I am an influencer as well as a life designer and I'm so excited to be here. I did not know Chi-Chi, so this is my first day meeting her, but this dress is giving, honey. It is so modest but also so chic and just sexy. It's very sensual too, like I really like it. I love the mesh mixed with, you know, it's like asking to show me a little bit more, but it's like, oh, we've seen enough, so I like it. But it's so nice to meet all of you. You all look beautiful, and thank you, Chi-Chi, for designing things for women like us.
We went to East Illinois together. I always say I'm one of the first Zurik, when it was Zurik Girl Models, along with Amy. Like we're all on the official, the first website. That's when I was a sample size too.
I'm the older sister, and I'm wearing the Dawn Cream.
This set is in a medium that I'm wearing, and I'm normally a large, so it has a lot of good stretch in it. Like it definitely versatile.
So
Yeah.
what I'm doing different with my sizing is, so I have 2 sizes. So if you see on your tab, you see double mediums, like you see not just one medium, you see a medium and a medium. That means it's a big medium. So if you want, like if you're in between sizes, because I fluctuate, like my size changes. Like if I'm in the gym, I'm like a small, then if I'm not. So I have ranges for if you want like a true medium or if you want a big medium. You don't want to see large in the dress.
Right. That's how I was like, you're optimistic, but it's a medium. Whole experience, because I got my little sacred keychain and everything like that. I'm a talk like every day.
Zurik, of course. Cheers.
Cheers.
To excellence
Because
and wearing more
Desire, we had this thing down to
of
science.
us. All right, guys, now the time has come for us to unwind after a long evening of socializing and getting ready and doing all the things. As you guys know, earlier today we picked up the Merit Great Skin Cleanser, and now is the time to put it to the test. I'm about to wash my face. I currently have Scandal on my iPad and we are watching it a little bit. Let's some out. It's genuinely like melting the makeup. Even the makeup under my eye, which I feel like sometimes I have a lot more of a battle with.
I have to take care of myself.
I understand.
To protect my people.
I know.
I can't spend all my time worrying about you.
Can I help you? Blood. It's become pure.
The final verdict is here, and I would give this cleanser a 9 out of 10. I'm sure there's something that could do it like even better, because the products can always be better at the end of the day, but I really do like it. I normally always have an issue with my under eye whenever I try to wash my face. There's always a little bit of residue just because of all the powders and everything that I use to set the makeup. But like I said, I use the same little skincare every single night. I use my Clarins double serum. They have new packaging now, so if you're seeing this and you're like, wait, it doesn't look like that anymore, I know. I haven't gotten the new bottle. This one is by Clinique. This is their Even Better Dark Spot Serum. Yeah, this is what the face looks like with just both of those serums on. It looks very hydrated. I also really love the Clinique Moisture Surge moisturizer, and I use quite a bit. As you guys may or may not know, my skin is on the drier side, so I like to really slug my skin at night with a lot of hydrating serums as well as moisturizers. And then, like I said before, for my skincare regimen, it just so happens to really work out for me personally to not wash my face in the AM as well. But we are all set for skincare. Take a little bit of my new toothpaste, the Youth Mall. And guys, I really do like this. Like, it's such a fun experience. And it's also pink.
Her spiritual counselor, does she just,
Happy Sunday, guys. This is the last day of our little mini vlog of a weekend with me, and I'm really excited because Sundays are the day that I typically get everything in order. I'm gonna have a little money meeting with myself to assess how much money I spent this week and how much money I will have going into the following week, and then I will go over my little Life by Design dashboard just to recap how well I did or did not do in accordance to all of the goals that I have set, how many points we accumulated this week, and then we are going to a coffee shop so that I can edit this video, and then we need to order some groceries. But I'm waiting for my trainer to get back with me with my plan so that I can grocery shop according to what my plan is going to be. We have my planner and we also have my laptop, and this is the time that I like to take to just kind of assess what happened this week, what are we doing, and what can we do differently for the following week. And this helps me as far as when I know what my non-negotiables are for the following week. It helps me because I'm able to fit in all of the things that I need to do for myself around that, because those are non-negotiables as well. And because I already have a set number of non-negotiables on my week, I know not to overload myself and say yes to things that I cannot do. Okay, that's the number one rule. So we have a meeting on Monday, so I'm not going to schedule anything else outside of that. I have a meeting at 5 with my co-collaborator for my After 5 Social Wellness Club. I did a pitch to Seven Daughters Wines, and I have not heard anything back from their PR agency, so I'm guessing that it's just not looking like it's aligned, and that's okay. There are plenty of other wine brands that we were looking to collaborate with for our event, so no worries there. I will just continue shooting shots in the dark and see what sticks. But yeah, so I gotta send out more emails this week, and I'll probably send them out on Tuesday. And then I'm assuming my True Religion campaign will go live this week. They did their final round of reviews last week, so I probably will have to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. And this is helpful for me because when I already know my evenings are blocked off with certain things, I can't walk when it's too cold, and I also can't walk when it's too dark. So I know now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday is when I'm going to be working out. Friday morning is likely when I will take like a long walk before I log on for work. And then the weekend, we don't know yet what all we have planned. It looks like it's open. When you guys see me turning, I'm looking at my refrigerator's like calendar, but that's what the week is looking like. So we now have a plan for our week, and now I will take a look at my Life by Design plan. Now we're gonna take a look at my Life by Design dashboard, and I'll show you guys like what it's been looking like because I've made a few updates. But this background that you're seeing, I actually created this on Canva. It's just a Pantone like paint swatch that's crumpled up. I got it off of Pinterest, and then I have the month of October with all of the days of the month on it, and it's both my screensaver and my lock screen. Here is the dashboard. This week was a great improvement from the previous week. As you guys can see, there's been a huge improvement in my stats this past week compared to the week before. This week we got a whopping 136 points, which is amazing compared to last week. Last week I had fallen off and I just was not feeling like myself. It was like a really rough transition from the previous month into the next. I was trying to wrap up a few things. I had my performance review. I had a whole bunch of events that I'd gone to the week prior. And I think I was just burnt out, honestly. So I'd fallen off of my routines, and then I had stepped on the scale, and all the progress that I had made, it looked like I had lost it again. I was like absolutely pissed off. I kind of like slipped into a slump. But then I thought to myself, like, who am I to give up at the sign of adversity, or who am I to like give up on myself when I know, like, in any aspect or area of my life, there have been times where things have been stagnant, but you still have to show up regardless, because the results are on the other side of you still being consistent regardless of what you're seeing showing up. And working a 9 to 5 has truly instilled that into me, because there are some days where I do a lot of work and it goes unnoticed. Like, nobody is gonna see what I'm doing and be praising it and appreciative of it until the final project is finished, and then they're like, oh, thank you so much, you know? So there's a lot of work that goes into a lot of what we do on the day-to-day, and no one is gonna be clapping for you or cheering you on in the midst of it. But just know at the end, there's gonna be so much gratification. I had to tell myself that, and I had a little reality check, and now I'm giving myself a lot more grace. And I was like, you know what? Regardless of the results that I'm seeing, I feel really good when I do take care of myself and I check off these things on the day-to-day. So let's keep going. So we're gonna keep going. We're also still on track with my savings goal. I was able to put a large deposit into my high yield savings account to build back up my shopping fund. I have $1,500 allotted within my high yield savings account at any point every single month that I can like pull from if I want to go shopping, or I need to buy something, or I need to invest in something. Like, I have that pool of money, and then I have a pool of money that is like allotted solely towards like emergencies or anything like that. As well, the $1,500 can also be used for like one-off trips. If I want to experience something, if I want to reward myself, like, I can pull from that. But I needed to put back into it because I had purchased a new camera lens and a few other things last month. So I was able to put that deposit back into there, and now all of my savings goals are pretty much on track. I want some tea. I'm gonna have some tea. Does anyone else have like an oral fixation when you're working? It's like as soon as you have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or just a cup of something, you feel so much more productive. That is what I have learned from James Clear, as well as the Ritual Reflect, as well as Working Simply, that if you have rituals and things that are associated with specific things, like perhaps let's say you want to sit down and be productive, and often when you're working in the office at work, when you sit down at your desk, you have a cup of coffee. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to get into the mode or the zone of working if you don't have that cup of coffee, because that is like the signal, that's the trigger that gets you going into working. And I am finding that that is slowly but surely becoming my reality. I need an oral fixation whenever I'm working. I love to be sipping on some coffee or some tea, so let's make some tea. Eating for lunch today. This is from Brown Bag Seafood. I just have some fish and some veggies. But as always, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video if I don't round it out a little bit later, because I don't know when he's going to send my meal plan and I have a lot of other things that I actually need to get to. But I really hope you guys enjoyed a little short week in my life as a FinTech Barbie slash influencer. The day-to-day, sometimes things are a little bit slower, sometimes things are very fast and it's crazy, but I am taking it day by day and sitting with God and trying to design a life of meaning and purpose. And it's been a whirlwind and I feel like I'm taking it on with grace, but I'm really excited to see what's to come. But as always, if you enjoyed today's vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps me to find more women like you who are trying to design the life of their dreams. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so you can see more content like this. And if you're not already following me on other social medias, make sure to do so. I'm a lot more consistent on Instagram and TikTok. I post there just about every week. So if you want to see me a lot more consistently, then make sure to follow me there. I'm always sharing my outfits, things that I'm doing to live by design on the day-to-day, and just showing you a little bit more of the behind the scenes of the events that I go to. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.